This week, at the President's request, members of the SANDF were deployed to guard vulnerable power stations. This, of course, follows many incidents of theft and deliberate sabotage, acts that have plunged us deeper into load shedding at times. I'm joined now by SANDF spokesperson, Brigadier Andries Mahapa. Brigadier, thank you so much for joining us. The deployment, I understand, began this week at 4 power stations. Are you able to give us details of which power stations the SANDF is guarding and why those power stations?
Good evening, Celine, to your viewers as well. Thank you for the invitation. As a defense force, one of the principles of deployment is an element of surprise. We are guarding more than 4 power stations. However, as I said, the element of surprise is one of the principles in terms of any deployment within the SANDF. So we don't want to warn those members of continuing destroying the critical infrastructure of Eskom that we are there. We are deployed, we are waiting for them, so that when they come, then they'll find us ready, and then we'll be in a position to apprehend those members and hand them over to the SAPS. But I need to make it known that any deployment within the SANDF obviously is informed by intelligence. That's the reason why we are at the various power stations, so that we can protect this critical infrastructure. It's not only about protecting the infrastructure, we also have the electrical engineers who are working closely with Eskom to see how can the SANDF assist Eskom in terms of the manpower within the defense force in terms of the capabilities and the limited knowledge that we have within our organization itself.
Okay.
Because we cannot, okay.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
interesting. So Army electrical engineers are actually on site as well to see if they can assist Eskom in any way. Is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am. Yeah.
Very interesting. Are you able to tell us how many Army personnel are actually involved in this operation?
Currently, we are starting at 200, and it's going to be incremental depending on the situation as it unfolds. Unless if situation gets better, then the number will be reduced, taking into account that situation will be back to normal. As the Minister of Military Veterans, Defense and Military Veterans indicated during the media briefing, that this is not solely the responsibility of the SADF. It's the SAPS responsibility. We are in support of the SAPS. When situation becomes normal, then we'll hand over to the SAPS so that they can take charge of the situation in terms of internal security within the RSA itself.
Are you able to give me a time frame, how long this operation has been currently set down for, and whether there's a possibility you will begin to guard other power stations beyond the 4 that you're currently looking after?
Currently, as we speak, we are mandated to execute these operations from the 16th of December till the 16th of March. And I'm not in a position, because we cannot somehow preempt what would happen post the 16th of March or before that. But if the situation normalizes, then we'll withdraw and go back to the base based on the instruction. If it's getting worse, obviously we'll put more boots on the ground so that we make sure that we secure this critical infrastructure, because it does impact the economy of the state after all.
What does the Army do differently than the police or security guards?
I wouldn't say we are doing anything differently. We are in support of the police. Maybe it's because we are more robust and we are trained in a different way, the manner in which the police and the security guards are trained. But we are not different. We are just in support of them so that we can reinforce the numbers. The more the merrier. I think the Army is more deterrent, more than any other organization. We are the last line of any country, especially in South Africa. When things go high, then when you call the defense force, then you know that everything has to come to an end. We need to normalize the situation.
Given that a lot of the sabotage we're seeing at power plants is often an inside job, people who have got security clearance, who the power station believes are trustworthy, actually going in and just tweaking one little thing and causing a whole lot of damage. How effective is the SANDF?
Look, the SANDF is not the only role player here. We are working together with ESCOM personnel. So that's why I'm saying we are reinforcing. So they'll be in a position to do the administrative, to see those people who are doing the maintenance or who are supposed to do the maintenance or enter the power stations. They are the members who are really vetted according to ESCOM. So it's not the responsibility of the SANDF to vet the members or to see those are the members that are supposed to be there. That's why ESCOM personnel are also on the ground in support of the SANDF and all other security agencies which we are joining hands with.
Right, so it's a combined effort, and as you said to me a little earlier, when things really go haywire, the last people you call are the army because they are the last line of defence, I suppose. You know, we've just come out of a story about what's happening at Chris Hani Baragwanath. It looks like 2 incidents of sabotage in 1 week. The first incident, cutting off oxygen to the ICU, you know, that is incredibly problematic. Is it the sort of thing that the SANDF would be willing to assist with as well? I mean, is guarding that sort of state infrastructure, a hospital, also within the ambit of the SANDF? Should it be required to do so?
They normally say it doesn't rain, it storms. You close this whole year, another one opens up. Unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves today. But to answer your question, the SANDF acts on orders. If the order comes from the chief of the SANDF or the president, nor the minister, and then we will be happy to do so. Primarily to safeguard the lives of South Africans and obviously the economy, so that we don't find ourselves in a situation whereby there's insecurity within the country. Because if we fold our arms, it will lead to a situation whereby there will be anarchy. Everyone will do as they pleases. That you cannot afford to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for giving us the information that you can. SANDF spokesperson Brigadier Andries Mahapa telling us they are guarding 4 power stations. They're not going to give details on which power stations because they rely, of course, on the element of surprise. But he has confirmed there are 200 Army personnel at this stage assisting, and they have a 3-month mandate that began on the 16th of this month.